Hello everyone. Ini gue lihatnya dari mana dulu? Kan hello everyone itu ya.
Dari lo nggak bisa?
Gak bisa. Maksudnya kan gue baca. Itu lo
udah on game?
Enggak. Mending lo keluar aja dulu dah. Ntar masuk lagi. Ya lah sarangnya banget. Hello everyone. Here Alya, Camilla, and I representative from group 8 who wants to do an English presentation. Okay, now fans please participate. Udah masukin aja.
Langsung mulai Vira. Langsung.
Kamu ya Vira, this my idea.
My idea. What is my idea? The main idea of a story tells you what the entire story is about. You should be able to sum up the main idea in one sentence. You can also think of the main idea as the reason the story was written.
Suara gede.
What is main idea?
Dance aja.
The main idea of a text is the author's message about the topic. It is often expressed directly or it can imply. Main idea, topic, plus author's point about the topic. Important word to know. Paragraph. A group of sentences organized around a topic, a main idea about the topic, and the text that support the main idea. Main idea. A statement that tells the author's point about the topic. The main idea provides the message of a given paragraph or the argument that is being made about the topic. The text. The specific information about the main idea or support for the main idea. Where do you find the main idea? If the main idea is expressed directly, it is found at the beginning of paragraph, usually as the topic sentence. Main ideas are also found in the concluding sentences of a paragraph as the summation. Where do you find the main idea? If the main idea is implied, several sentences in a paragraph can imply the main idea by introducing facts about the topic before actually stating the topic.
Udah ini. Dia makanya namanya.
Implied ideas can be drawn from fact, reason, or examples that give hints or suggestions concerning the main idea. Finding the main idea takes time. Identify the keywords of a sentence. Identify keywords or topic of a paragraph. Identify the topic sentence of a paragraph. Recognize the explicitly stated point of a paragraph. Infer the main idea of a sentence. Infer the main idea of a paragraph. invert relationship among ideas in real-life paragraph from longer selection. Exercise 1. Exercise direction. Read the following paragraph and determine the main idea of each paragraph. Paragraph 1. Ruang Prabang has both natural and historical sites. Among the natural tourism sites are the principals and Papua Kas. Tourists may also have elephants. At the end of the main street of Ruang Prabang is a night market where stalls sell bracelets and other souvenirs. The Hongjian Royal Palace Museum and the Washington Temple are among the most well-known historical sites. Along with the magnificent temples, a significant part of the old town Hippolis is the main provincial style house. Main idea: Ruang Prabang has both natural and historical sites. Paragraph 2. Food sits at the very center of Vietnamese culture for every significant holiday on the Vietnamese cultural calendar, or the important milestone in Vietnamese person's life, and indeed most of the important day-to-day social events and interaction would plays the central role. Special dishes are prepared and served with great care for every birth, marriage, and death, and the anniversaries of cancers death. More business, there are stopover dinner tables than over bathroom tables. And when friends get together, they eat together. Preparing food and eating together remains the focus of family life. Main idea: food sits at the very center of Vietnamese culture for every significant holiday on the Vietnamese cultural calendar, for the important milestone in Vietnamese person's life, and indeed most of the important day-to-day social events and interaction would play a central role. Paragraph 3. Singapore has 4 official languages: English, Chinese, Malay, and Tamil. English is the common language of the nation and is the language of business, government, and the medium of instruction in schools. Public organizations in Singapore conduct their business in English, and an official document written in a non-English official language such as Chinese, Malay, or Tamil typically has to be translated into English to be accepted for some nations. The Singapore Constitution and all laws are written in English, and translators are also required if one wishes to address the Singaporean come in a language other than English. However, English is the native tongue for only one-fifth of all Singaporeans. Indians speaking it as the native tongue. My idea. Public organizations in Singapore conduct their business in English, and official documents written in a non-English official language such as Chinese, Malay, or Kapil typically has to be translated into English to be accepted for submission.
Paragraf ini siapa yang baca? Ya udah baca.
Paragraph 1. Due to its long history as a tributary state of China, as well as several threats of China's occupation, Vietnam's culture is heavily influenced by that of southern China, with Confucianism forming the basis of Vietnamese society. The Vietnamese language also contains many loanwords from China. Though the two languages are unrelated, Buddhism remains the single largest religion in Vietnam. Like in China, but unlike in the rest of northern Southeast Asia, the nominal school of Buddhism in Vietnam is the Mahayana school. My idea: Buddhism remains the single largest religion in Vietnam. Like in China, but unlike in the rest of northern Southeast Asia, the nominal school of Buddhism in Vietnam is the Mahayana school.
Ini apa yang baca?
Exercise 2.
Itu yang baca. Udah mana sih?
Udah dah. Masih tidak?
Sampai.
Abis ini udah.
Oh.
Exercise 2. Direction. Read each paragraph below and answer the question that follows. With the correct answer. Paragraph 1. Cloth can tell a lot about the person. Some people have very colorful clothes. They want everyone to look at them. They want to be the same things. Other people like to wear nice clothes, but their clothes are not colorful or fancy. They do not like people to look at them. They are also some people who wear the same thing all the time. They do not care if anyone looks at them. They do not think about what anyone thinks about them. What is the main idea of the paragraph?
The answer is B. The answer
B. Thoughts can tell a lot about people.
Nah, ini aku. Apa kamu?
Ayo.
Nah. Paragraph 2. It is important to bring the right clothes when you travel. If you're going to a cold country, you should bring warm clothes. Be sure you have a hat and gloves too. If you're going to a hot country, you may bigger clothes. You do not want heavy or dark clothes. In hot weather, light clothes are best. If you are going to a city, you may need some nice clothes. And a question: what is the main idea of the paragraph? And the answer is B. Appropriate clothes are important when you travel. Paragraph 3. Clothes today are very different from clothes of the 1000 years. One difference is the way they live. For example, in ancient times, women wore their dresses. The dresses all had long skirts, but today, women do not always wear dresses with long skirts. Sometimes they wear short skirts, and sometimes they wear pants. Another difference between 1000 s and today is the cloth. They were made from cotton, wool, silk, and linen. But today, there are many kinds of man-made clothes. A lot of clothes are now made of nylon, rayon, or polyester. And the question is, what is the main idea of the paragraph? And the answer is C. Clothes today are different from the clothes of the 1000s. Exercise 3. Exercise 3. Paragraph 1. An average brain releases as much energy as several atomic explosions. Its power output in a single minute will keep in the United States in electricity for 15 years. The hurricanes that struck Bangladesh in 1917 produced a tidal wave of killed 2,000 people in 1090. In Galveston, Texas, a hurricane created storm tides that swept 6,000 people to their deaths. The question is the author's purpose of the paragraph is to the answer is C. Present factual information about hurricanes. Number 2. The author turned in best they describe as. The answer is D. Frustrated. Paragraph 2. Like human brain, ants can be both cooperative and aggressive toward one another. In fact, certain species of ants survive by riding other ant colonies and essence of spring. Scientists believe that these landmakers cannot survive on their own and need other ants to take care of them. The only way in which they can exit this is by riding other colonies and emphasizing their larvae and larvae. If they can carry them back to their own colonies and raise them ourselves. Once their cells die, they raise new colonies, chapter new larvae, and acquire a new supply of cells. The question is, the author wrote to D. Emeritus the reader with amazing fact about ants. And number 2, the author tone is C. Informative. Exercise 4. Exercise 4, Usage 1. Basketball was invented in 1891 by physical education instructor in Springfield, Massachusetts by the name of James Naismith. Because of the terrible weather in winter, his physical education students were indoors rather than outdoors. They really did not like the idea of boring, recreative exercise and preferred the excitement and challenge of a game. Naismith figured out a team sport and could be played indoors or a gymnasium floor that included a lot of running that gave all team members involved and did not allow the tackling and physical contact of American-style football. And the question is, what is the main idea of this passage? The answer is D. The origin of basketball. Passage 2. Early maps of the North American continent showed a massive river that began in the Rocky Mountains, flowed into the Great Salt Lake, and from there continued westward into the Pacific Ocean. This river, named the Buenaventura River, also meets rivalry the Great Mississippi River. This mythical river, of course, does not exist. Perhaps an early mapmaker hypothesized and such a river probably existed. Perhaps a smaller river was seen and expanded from the Rockies on the Pacific West assumes. As late as the middle of the 19th century, this river was still on maps and explorers were still searching for it. And the question is, which of the following would be the best title for this passage? And the answer is B, an unexisting river on maps. Ajan gimana? Ajan lanjut aja. Passage B. Universitas Pamor moves on the ice of the year close to 19% of it is covering the surface on the continent Antarctica. It does not snow very much in Antarctica, but whatever snow does fall remains in ground deeper and deeper. In some area of Antarctica, the ice has perhaps been around for such a million years and now is boarded to miles deep. 3. The main idea of the passage is that the answer is B, most the Earth ice is found in Antarctica. And some question is the best title for the passage is, the answer is A, snowfall in Antarctica. Passage 4, the extremely hot and humid weather that occurs in the United States in July and August is commonly called the dog day of summer. This name comes from the star Sirius, which is known as the dog star. Sirius is the biggest visible star, and in the hot summer months it rises in the east approximately the same time as the sun. As ancient people saw this star rising with the sun, and weather was at its hot season. They believe that Sirius was because of the additional heat. They believe that bright star did its heat to the heat of the sun, and these two together made summer weather so unbearably hot. The question is, the topic of the passage is C. Why the hot summer west are known as the dog day. And the next question is, the main idea of this passage is that the answer is A. The name for the summer days come from Sirius the dog star. Passage 5. The term primitive art has been used in a variety of ways that is diverse and styles of art. The ones that this term has been used is to describe the early period within the development of a certain style of art. Another way that this term has been used is to describe artists who have frequently the professional training and who demonstrate a non-traditional method in their work. A wonderful example of this second type of primitive artist in Grandma Mouse, who spent all her life on warm and working at tasks normally associated with farm life. They did not begin painting until she reached the age of 76, when he seems to paint from a body because the artist is her handmade embroidery to be difficult. Totally without formal education in art, she began creating prominent images of everybody life on the farm that have achieved international fame. And the question is, one, the subject of this passage is answer. An example of one of the types of primitive art. And the other question is, which of the following best express the main idea of the passage? The answer is C. Grandma Mouse is one type of primitive artist because of her lack formal training. Passage C. The first English attempt to colonize North America were controlled by individuals rather than companies. Sir Howard Gilbert was the first Englishman to send colonies to the New World. His initial expedition, which started in 105,780 with a passion created by Queen Elizabeth I, was defeated by the Spanish. A second attempt ended in disaster in 105,083 when Gilbert and his ship were lost in a storm. In the following years, Gilbert's half-brother, Sir Walter Raleigh, had obtained the renewal of the paid sponsor an expedition that explored the coast of the region that he named Virginia. Under Raleigh's direction, Egbert were the men of established a colony of Rocky Island in 1585 and 1587. The surface is the first settlement on Roanoke returned to England in 105,086, but the second group of colonists disappeared without leaving a trace. The value of the Gilbert and Village ventures made it clear, and the tax they had undertaken were too big for any one colonist. Within a short time, the trading company had supplanted the individual promoter of colonization. The question is, which of the following would be the most appropriate title for this passage? The answer is C. Early attempt to colonize North America. And another question is, the passage stage, which of the following were the first English people to be employed in establishing colonies in North America? The answer is A. They were reconstituted so by Queen Elizabeth. Passage 7. After Queen Natural Davis entered its West Diplomat in Canada, this circumstance was mitigated by the river and lake system that provided avenues for the poor traditionally soldier and settler. Canada river and lakes allow an Indian to invite them to be some pioneers and explore the interior of the continent, and in spite of natural delays, did that is great well. The river and lakes were essential to the Great Fur Empire. People is cannot procure from the furthest extremity of the Canadian Shelf to Montreal for exportation to Europe. The first settlements spread along the river, since only the river provided transportation and communication. Militarily, river and lakes were of prime importance. River controlled the settlements, and its answer also an entrance control Canada. The question is, what is the main subject of the passage? The answer is the barrier. A. The barrier to east-west communication in Canada. And another question, which will be an example of the type of barrier the author refers to in line. The answer is C. A political border. Passage A. Henry was born long below in 108,007 until 108,082 was perhaps the best known American poet of the 19th century. His clear writing style and emphasis on the prevalent values on the period made him popular with the general public. Yet not always with the critics. He was particularly recognized of the longer narrative poems Evangeline, the Song of Hiawatha, and the Courtship of Miles Davis, in which he told story from American history in terms of the values of the time. Evangeline has said during the French and Indian War, 1754, until 1063, when the British forced French settlers from Nova Scotia to Lovers, Gabriel and Evangeline were separated by the British, and Evangeline devoted her lifetime to search for Gabriel. With its emphasis on sentimental, endearing love, Evangeline was immensely popular with the public. In the song of Hiawatha, Long Below, the visit of noble life of the American Indian through the story of the brave Hiawatha and his beloved wife, Minnehaha. Their tale inspiring poem follows Hiawatha's tragedies and triumphs of life, ending with the deed of Minnehaha and Hiawatha departure into the sunset in his canoe. The courtship of milestones takes place during the early period of the settlement of New England, a period which was viewed as a time of honor and romance. The poem centers around a love triangle. Milestones asked his friend John Alden to propose to Priscilla Morris before. John Alden is partnering Priscilla Morris himself and takes him to comprehensive witness standard of recover. As with Lamphilo, other narrative forms that focus on like Alya and romance that become extremely popular. The question is, which of the following members is representing Alya of the present? The popular long below from Schroeder from his dress and values of the Another question is the best title of the passage is answer A. Long below popular. And one question again is the subject of the first paragraph is the answer is C. The popular appeal of the township of Marstandes. Passage 9. Of the various people living in the west of Africa, pigeons are the most unusual. They are preferred to foreign people except they weigh only about 80 pounds with a head of not more than 4 feet. Pigeons are food travelers capable of moving in the jobs almost as extremely as monkeys. Often they travel great distance without touching the ground. Pigeons are also renowned as great hunters, and they can shoot tree or bird around one after another so rapidly, and often the last one leaving to go before the first has reached its target. People allow music is target. The impatient pigeon may fly into a rage, picking his cella and stamping on them regardless of extraordinary little bodies. Pigeons can consume a large amount of food. One pigeon can finish a slice of 60 bananas at a single meal, in addition to quantities of meat. After eating, he will lie on his hard bed and call in pain all night. In the morning, he is ready to eat the same amount of food all over again. The question is, what is the main idea of the passage? The station is the answer is A. A unit tribe in the Egyptian forest of Africa. And the question is, which of the following would be the best title for this passage? And the answer is D. The Incredible Pigeon. Passage. There the thin film of water that has been episode 5 surface of object theory or credit of the object theory, the nighttime course also will the shallow layer of overlying air in concept data. It then traces the condensation of some water vapor, this condition capacity of air to how water vapor lessens as the air is held electrons radially on the surface that less hydrogen radiation affecting AVE filtering the answer from external heat search. There is easily humidity in the lowest layer of air is high. The usually either suppressing the most zero or inhibits the evaporation of the deep oily deposits. Strong white breeders give formation since the next layer of air, setting a more homogeneous distribution of it in water vapor. Under such conditions, it is unlikely and insufficient to enter layer of air can form near the ground. The question is what does the passage mainly discuss? And the answer is how. I'm sorry, and the answer is see how he is correct.
Enggak, lanjutin dong. Kan gua.
And next message can continue with my friends. And the name is Vira. Vira. Gue udah bilang untuk dilanjutin sama lu.
Oke. Diam.
Udah lanjut.
Set elephant reaction very common among insects and birds. Is different by weather and varying the confluence of food is incredible inevitable for the animals to carry on. So they make remarkable relation to find warmer rest and the forest. Although for selecting insects only go short distances, particular insects are very long distance. For example, modern butterflies spend the summer in Canada and the northern Alps and avoid winter as Mexico for the winter. Many birds migrate in the fall and fly extremely far. Intense Arctic terminates near the North Pole in the summer. In autumn, they fly south all the way to Antarctica and return to the North each spring. Since the journey can be dangerous, some travel and regular fruits like gifts that fight in night shift. What is the main idea of the method? Animal version can cover long distance. What is the topic of the method? See insect and bird migration.
Udah, lanjutin nanti ganti-gantian ya. Thank you ya Bu Ican. Berhenti, udah tutup kan? Okay, thank you. More or less saying because we are still learning. Thank you for your attention all, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Any question? Okay, I'm sorry, will be end, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Answer it. Hey, answer. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Udah kan ya? Matiin. Ya,
Udah tamat nyari gara-gara aja udah.
Matiin dulu rekaman.
Emang di sini lagi?
Apa?
Dipresentasiin lagi?
Enggak,
Enggak usah.
Udah disimpan kan?
Enggak, ini mau gue matiin dulu.
Enggak, video udah berarti.
Udah, dari
Nanti
tadi.
kirim deh.
Iya.
Oke, udah.
Udah ini matiin.
Udah keluar aja.